Welcome to Legacy Engineered, the show where smart structure meets lasting success. Join Scott Arden, Chairman and CEO of Controllers Limited, as he sits down with business leaders, top entrepreneurs, and experts to uncover the strategies, stories, and structures that build lasting legacies. And now, here's your host, Scott Arden.
Welcome back to Legacy Engineered, where we sit down with people who are intentionally building businesses, families, and lives that leave a lasting impact. Today, we're joined by Chris Plastiras, broker and owner of Lakeshore Realty, and Amber Anderson, second-generation realtor and part of the next generation carrying the family business forward. For more than 3 decades, Chris and his family have built one of the most respected independent real estate brokerages in Incline Village and Crystal Bay, helping families buy, sell, and preserve some of the most sought-after properties around Lake Tahoe. Today, Amber is helping continue that legacy while bringing her own perspective to the business. Today, we're talking about family business, succession planning, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and why legacy isn't something you leave behind one day. It's something you build every single day. Chris, Amber, welcome to Legacy Engineered.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we were having a little bit of a conversation, but Chris, I kind of want to start with you and, ask you, you've been serving the Lake Tahoe community for more than 40 years, while Lakeshore Realty has been locally owned since 1994. Take us back to the beginning. How did your journey into real estate start, and how did Lakeshore Realty come to be?
Okay, that's a good question. I started in the mid 1970s selling real estate in Incline Village. And long and about, I was a co-broker of a rather large company. And in 1994, we decided to do more of a boutique style brokerage. Mm-hmm. And over the years, my partners, I had 3 other partners, they retired. And so at the end of the day, I ended up owning the company solely. And that's how we got to where we are. We basically run our company more like a business that deals with real estate. We're not a corporate entity. We're not worried about the bottom line. We're more concerned about providing quality service and professionalism to our customers.
Awesome. That's awesome. So when you first opened Lakeshore Realty, what did success look like to you, and how has that definition changed over the years?
Well, when we first opened, we thought, well, we're just going to do 4 brokers and we're going to run the office. And that whole thing went down the tubes within the first 3 months. And then we decided we needed a bigger footprint and we needed more agents. And so it sort of grew along, and that's where we are today, basically.
Got it. And have you ever been at a point where you thought maybe this business isn't going to make it, or anything along?
You bet. We've had some rough times throughout the years. Every now and then there's a bump in the road where the economy fails, but we learned early on that pretty much everything we own is already paid for. So if we reach a bump, we're not gonna fall through the wayside.
Got it. Now, Amber, you literally grew up around the family business. What was it like watching your parents build it? And was real estate always the plan?
Well, funny enough, the fence line is shared with the office. That's where our home was. So I literally watched them build the office, along with the business that went with it too. And it's been really entertaining, to say the least. And it's always been in the family. They would have us come in as little girls, my sister and myself. And we would play at the front desk. We'd be in and out of the office. We'd make friends with their clients along with the other agents. So it's kind of always been a part of our life as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what is one thing your dad taught you that you didn't fully appreciate until you became an agent yourself?
Just do good, clean business. It sounds like the simplest line, but it has so much value now that I'm in the business with him. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this, but truly it's all about the relationships and the connections that you have and building that trust with everyone. So doing just good, clean business means so much to us now.
Absolutely. I know that's one of our big things, is we're always we believe in honest business. That's why we've been around, or I've been doing this for a long time, nearly 30 years. We're actually celebrating our 10th year anniversary of Controllers coming up. And so, we're in the same kind of, yeah, that mindset of, honest business yields honest results, right? That's awesome. So, Chris, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice when you first opened Lakeshore Realty, what would it be?
I would have to say that you have to have faith. You have to understand that you can't build a business overnight. It takes months, if not years, and you got to have the patience. You got to be persistent, and you got to believe in yourself. Those are the key elements I think a person needs to have to want to survive in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a lot of realtor friends, and they say, there's a lot of ups and downs and sideways and unknowns, and but you just got to be consistent, and like you said, have kind of faith that it will work out. Well, cool. So, Amber, what is the best piece of advice Chris has ever given you in business or in life?
Oh, in business or in life.
Next question,
Yeah.
please.
Working on that one.
Right.
Yeah, no, the best piece of advice he's ever given me, I would have to say it is along the lines of doing good, clean business again, but having that integrity and treating others the way that you want to be treated as well. And a big piece of it would be trusting too, like truly trusting yourself, trusting the bigger picture, knowing there are going to be ups and downs, and you have to be there to ride it out. Most important thing I think he's taught me was family. So aside from business, we put our family first. And then if our family is all good and everyone's healthy and taken care of, then the business will flourish as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is kind of for both of you. Running a family business can be incredibly rewarding, but I'm sure it has its challenges too. How do you separate family from business? So like you just said, I know family first, but how do you separate that?
Do
You
we
don't.
separate it?
You don't at all. I think that's one of the perks for us,
Yeah.
when we're together as a family, regardless of if children are running around, if my sister and other members are there, we can all talk business because we're all in it together.
Right.
And
Right.
it doesn't really take away from the family time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you could just kind of incorporate a little bit of it, all of it, right? And it's always good to have conversations even about business around family, even younger people coming up, because they start getting immersed into it and it starts creating that financial literacy, right? Knowing what different options there are in life. It's not just, schooling, there's entrepreneurship, there's a lot of different things that can come from it. So, yeah. Well, cool. So, Amber, you're bringing a new perspective into an established company. What are you doing differently when it comes to marketing, client relationships, and the overall client experience?
Well, AI has completely changed the game across the board, not just in real estate, in all businesses. So we're utilizing that, and it's definitely made things simpler for us and taken away a lot of the hard labor that was around just tech stuff, which is kind of funny, but that really would delay a lot of things for us in real estate. So now that's all taken care of. Relationship wise, my dad has plenty of established relationships, but I'm bringing in my relationships now, which evolve around the schools that we're involved in up here, my children, my husband and I were very connected in the community. So bringing in a younger side as well with everyone that's here too. And there's a lot of new people that are coming in with AI, ironically. So also connecting with them too.
Right. So this is kind of for both of you. What's one thing people assume about luxury real estate that just isn't true?
Hmm.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
How would you answer that? What do they assume about luxury real estate? I think I would have to say the perception. Um, and I'm not trying to knock corporate real estate. There are some great agents in the industry, but not all of them are educated or have the knowledge. I don't know if that helps answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
along those lines, to your point, I would agree with that in saying that there's a lot of there's local and then there's local. And we deem ourselves local, meaning that we didn't just move here and we're claiming to know the town. We do know this town inside and out and most of the homes here. And if I don't have the personal education because I wasn't affiliated or know that home, he does. He knows the builder, he knows the previous owners. We know all of the nuances around the home or the benefits of it, which
right?
doesn't usually come with random agents. Like the ones that are established here, they'll have that knowledge as well too.
That makes sense. Yeah, I know there's a lot of beautiful homes right there, around the lake and especially Incline Village, Crystal Bay. I mean, those are beautiful houses, and so definitely having knowing who built it, having that, being able to really tell that story. I think that's really what it comes down to, right? Is knowing the ins and the outs, like you said, and giving people the confidence to understand what they're buying. Well, cool. So, one thing we talk about often on this show is that real estate is more than buying and selling property. For many families, it's one of their greatest assets and something they hope to pass down for generations. How often do you find yourselves having conversations with clients about preserving real estate for future generations? And have you seen the difference, proper planning can make?
I experienced that oftentimes. I will work with the parents and then I'll work with the kids because the property will get handed down to the kids. Now, the reality is oftentimes the property has appreciated so much, and you might have three or four family members, and of them, maybe only one or two of them want to keep it, and one of the two of them want to sell it. So we then go down that road. And we determine from there, hey, did we keep it? Did we sell it? And I'm even getting to the point where I might even start to see a third generation of people that I deal with, which will certainly fall into Amber's court.
Right, right. Well, and that's, kind of understanding what that end goal is, right? I mean, that's how we work, is understanding what that client's vision, that end goal looks like, and essentially reverse engineering the deal to make that work, right?
Well, Scott, true. And oftentimes things change. Families, their goals change, and things happen. Which, and so a lot of things we do a lot of readjusting, shall we say, along the lines with our customers and our clients.
Right. Now, do most of your clients, I mean, we obviously aren't going to say who they are, but do a lot of them, are they structured? Are they putting things in trusts?
Virtually everything is in a trust.
Got it.
Very
Yep.
rarely do we have a customer who puts it in an individual name.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know, a lot of our clients will have their an entity own their real estate, right? That way they can write certain things off, take the deductions, treat themselves essentially as a tenant. Plus, it protects the asset and then ultimately ties that back into the trust for the estate planning side of things.
And the stepped up basis, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what's one story from your career that you'll probably still be telling people 20 years from now?
Oh man, which
That you
one
can.
that I can tell? Um, Boy, one story. I would have to think about that. I have so many stories, and I'm just trying to figure out which would be the most appropriate to share. So give me a moment on that one. Maybe we should go to the next question.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. So let's see here. We ask, well, this is actually the final one, so we might be keeping it around that 20-minute time frame, unless you think of that story or one that you can talk about. But we ask every guest the same question. At Legacy Engineered, we believe legacy is built through the choices we make every day. So what does legacy mean to you, and what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
From a business perspective, the person to my left is our legacy. I have done this for many, many years, and Amber has brought so much life and so many great ideas to this company. I never thought that it can get this much better this quickly. So my legacy is to hand it off to her if and when she decides she's ready, and if and when they pull my hands away from the doorknob. And but I got to tell you, I am so excited with the direction. The whole company feels it, and everybody is very excited about some of the really cool innovations, such as working with you, Scott, and so many other things. So the legacy is the business. I'm not going to close the business. They're going to take it over if they so desire. So that's the projection I see.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, that's the succession planning and really keeping that legacy alive is awesome. So cool. Well, Chris, Amber, I want to thank you both for joining us today. This conversation really highlights what Legacy Engineered is all about. Not simply buying and selling real estate, but building trust, building relationships, and building a business your family is proud to carry forward, and ultimately creating something that served your community long after the transaction's over. So if you'd like to connect with Chris, Amber, or the Lakeshore Realty team, we'd include all of their information in the description below. As always, thank you for listening to Legacy Engineered. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who's building something worth passing on. We'll see you next time. Remember, your legacy isn't left by accident, it's engineered. Amber, Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks for listening to Legacy Engineered. For more episodes and to connect with Scott and the team at Controllers Limited, visit controllersltd.com. You can also follow Scott on Instagram and LinkedIn and start building your legacy with confidence today.